Hello and welcome back to the She is Courageous podcast. Hi, it's Shelley. Yes. Whew. 2025 already feels like it is go, go, go. Emails are rolling in. Social media is full of people declaring their goals and how they're smashing it out of the park already. It already feels like everyone is really sprinting out of the gate. And maybe, just maybe, you are feeling a bit of pressure to do the same, or a bit of pressure that you're not kind of where they all are. I'm going to share with you a couple of stats first of all, because every year this astounds me. Now, maybe you heard my previous episode around New Year, New You. Stop. You don't need a New Year, New You. Maybe you've heard me talk about the fact that I don't think that January is the only month that we can kind of go for it, but I do fully appreciate there is this, I don't know, the whole New Year thing does bring this feeling of kind of movement forward. But New Year's resolutions, me and New Year's resolutions are not friends, okay? And here's a statistic that I read. This is updated information. It may well be an American statistic, as I now say it with such confidence, but it doesn't matter, because the point is that according to said research, when it comes to New Year and New Year's resolutions stroke New Year goals, okay, and I think there's a whole piece there about how people get kind of caught up in the difference between resolutions and goals, and I don't think people see the difference. But anyway, 23% of people that were surveyed in this massive piece of research that was done quit, give up on their New Year's resolution by the end of the first week. And almost 43%, so basically nearly half of people that set any form of New Year's resolution stroke New Year goal give up by the end of January. Here's the thing, unsurprisingly, I don't want that for any one of you. But I'm really conscious it happens every single year. There's been like this swathe of coming out of the gates, running at everything. And you just feel it. I just feel this pressure. It's like a a pressure cooker. It's like this pressure cooker that's about to start whistling really loud, okay? So if you've already got swept up in the rush, that's okay. Take a pause and listen for the next 20 minutes or so. If you haven't quite got swept up in it, but you can feel this tidal wave that feels like it's coming to get you, I want you to also pause, all right? Today is about pausing and just kind of rechecking in on what success really means and how we can redefine it in a way that supports us as individuals, not puts pressure on us and drains the living daylights out of us. Because what I really want for all of you, unsurprisingly on the She is Courageous podcast, unsurprisingly from the coach that bangs on about courage all the time, is I want to invite you to choose courage over, I'm going to use inverted commas, not that you can see me if you listen to the podcast, over hustle, okay? This hustle culture. And I don't think hustle culture is just about business, okay? I think hustle culture is about life, because there's just this swathe, this constant pressure and noise to be doing everything and living your best life. And I know, even as I say those words, I want that for you. I want you to live your best life. But I'm not sure that what I think living your best life is and what everybody else is screaming about is the same. So I want to talk about success, okay? Because we've all been sold this idea that success comes from working harder, from doing more, from pushing basically until there's nothing left to give. And I don't want that for you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love ambition. I am ambitious. I love goals. I have lots of them, and I encourage all of my clients. I encourage the members of the She is Courageous Collective to set goals, to have goals, to review their goals, to course correct as they need to. But there is a very big difference between having a really healthy ambition and having really courageous goals that mean something and that you're striving towards versus this relentless hustle that leaves so many feeling completely burnt out and wondering why they even started in the first place. Well, that is definitely not what I want for you. So I want you to consider this year that success is not about how hard you hustle, how hard you work, but actually how courageously you show up for you and your goals. Because actually, success is about aligning your actions with what truly matters to you. Not just ticking off endless to-do lists, not chasing goals that don't light you up, but because everybody else is doing it and saying you should, you're going with it. Doing what matters for you, living the life that you want to be living, that best life for you. Now, the thing with hustle, and I'm really guilty of this, is that hustle can become quite addictive. Because the hustle, I mean, I've said it before to my coach, I kind of love the hustle. I love the sense of accomplishment. I love a bit of a feeling of pressure, if I'm honest. I'm one of those that has spent many years having to unlearn the belief that I perform better under pressure. Hustle gives us a way to kind of measure our worth, not necessarily the right way though. Because most of us know that hustle is not sustainable. All right? I certainly do. I love a bit of hustle, but I know it's not sustainable. I am heading into my 49th year. I do not have the energy levels I used to have. I have the same grit and determination, but I need to focus my energy differently. And hustle for the sake of hustling absolutely does not bring you the fulfillment that you say you want. Maybe you haven't said it yet. What it does do is lead to exhaustion. It's not sustainable. But why do we still do it? We do it because it's familiar. We do it because it's celebrated. Now, hustle is definitely celebrated. And actually, hustle can feel quite safe because it's known. But courage, right? Let's remember, this is the She is Courageous podcast. Courage is really different. Courage is asking you to listen to yourself. Courage is trusting yourself. It's saying no to things that aren't aligned with what you actually want, even when saying yes is probably easier. Courage is setting the boundaries. It's prioritizing you and your goals. It's prioritizing your well-being to achieve your goals. It's trusting that success doesn't have to come at the cost of anything that doesn't feel right to you, be that your values or just your peace of mind. I want you to imagine this year that success doesn't have to be about how many hours you work, or how many clients you sign, or how many goals you check off, or how much money is in your bank account. I want you to imagine that success is having the courage to do business and life on your terms. Having the courage to ask for help when you need it, to step back when you need it, to go after the goals that actually matter to you, not the ones you think you should, or because everyone else is saying that they are, therefore you should, or that everyone else is saying you should go for. I want you to take a moment. I want you to use this week's podcast session as you are listening to this, wherever you are, be that in the car, out for a walk, at your desk with a notebook, hopefully just giving yourself this time. And I want you to think about, what does success truly mean for you? Not what does society tell you it should be. Not what is everybody else doing, what other entrepreneurs are up to. What does your version of success for 2025 and beyond maybe look and feel like? Now, maybe that feels like a really big question, okay? And I get it. It probably does. I think if you'd have asked me 3 years ago, what does success look and feel like for you? My only answer was a number. My measure of success for the first couple of years of my business was the number I had to achieve, because I had so much to prove to myself and to the world around me, not that anyone sees my bank account. But it's so different now. What does your version of success look and feel like in 2025? Maybe it's having more freedom in your diary to do more of something that you enjoy and you just didn't get the time for last year. Maybe it's finally launching something in your business that you have been dreaming about. Maybe it's spending more time with family or friends without feeling guilty about it. Maybe it's spending time on your business without feeling guilty about it. Maybe it's a handbag or shoes or a holiday to somewhere specific. Maybe it's contributing to something somewhere, or maybe it's having an impact at a bigger level. Maybe it's simply waking up in the morning and feeling fulfilled, whatever that means for you, or happy to take on another day, rather than overwhelmed, miserable, and like it's never enough. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to define success on your terms. Because once you know that, you can ask yourself, what would it actually look like to go for that with courage instead of hustling, instead of feeling like I'm Stretch Armstrong being pulled in every single direction? What are the 2 or 3 courageous steps that I could be making right now? What could I courageously say no to? What could I courageously say yes to? What could I be courageously doing? Because maybe you do need to say no to some things that don't align with the success that you're trying to create for you. Maybe you found yourself getting into a yes, 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 thinking that's the answer. And now you're sitting there realizing that actually that's not the answer. Maybe it is raising your prices finally. Maybe it's taking time off. Maybe it's setting the boundary that says you're going to take regular time off. What are the courageous steps that you can take right now to start moving towards the success that you define for you? Choosing courage over anything is not easy. Choosing courage over hustle is even less easy. It takes real strength to step off the treadmill and trust that you'll still move forward. It takes real bravery to believe that you are worthy of the success that you desire without having to run yourself into the ground. It takes resilience to keep going. It takes resilience to raise your prices in the face of the fear that clients might say, no, I'm not paying that. But I promise you, the more you practice this, the more you will realize that true success will come from alignment and courage, not exhaustion and overwhelm. I want you to redefine success. I want you to get really clear what success means and looks and feels like for you. I want it to include you, your well-being, your joy, happiness, whatever the right words are for you, your values. That's so important. Courage isn't just about taking big, bold actions. It's also about the quiet moments where you choose you. It is about trusting that you are on the right path, even if you're not sprinting towards the finish line right now. I hope that's not too cheesy an analogy. So as we step into 2025, as we really take hold of this new year and all the new opportunities, I just want you to ask yourself, are you hustling? Are you hustling because you think you have to? Are you hustling because you're telling yourself that's what works? Or are you going to take courageous action aligned with who you are and what you want? If the answer is hustle, I mean, look, if the answer is hustle and you're sitting there thinking, I'm okay with that, then cool. Don't ever fix what's not broken or what doesn't need mending. But if the answer is hustle and you want out, give yourself permission to pause, to recalibrate, and to choose courage instead. Your version of success, whatever it is completely valid. No matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what everybody else's version of success is. It only matters what yours is. So choose courage. Choose courageous success. Choose you. I think that's a slogan for someone else. If this episode has got you thinking a little bit differently, if it's got you realizing that actually your definition of success is not aligned to currently how you're acting or what you're doing, and actually it's really helped you recalibrate, reset, and move forward with courageous action towards the goals you want, do us a favor. Share it with someone else who needs to hear it too. Now, as always, I'm going to round off with reminding you that wherever you are, whatever you are doing, wherever you're trying to get to, she is courageous and she is you.